when he made that historic speech which exposed the Modi Adani corruption in the parliament, we could see how the ministers, MPs who run around and referring this book, that book, went to speaker, went to marshal. They were like completely nervous. They didn't expect this attack. They might be thinking that this corruption would have been hidden forever. But when Rahulji exposed this corruption on the floor of the parliament with evidence, it hit them hard, and the response which attracted across the country next 48 hours, definitely it's a difficult time for Modi government. See, for me, it's a freedom of expression, it's an equality, it's an equal opportunity, it's a transparency, it's an accountability. More than all these things, it's a voice of the people. So now, nothing these kind of things is remaining in India. It's a like undeclared emergency. There is no free press. There is no free institutions, which includes election commission, even judiciary under pressure, even the choices of people, what they have to eat, how do they dress, whom do they marry. So everything comes under a political scatter, which is very dangerous. Especially the opposition political parties, basically the voice of the common people has been suppressed within and outside the parliament. All the institutions which are supposed to be the pillar of democracy is completely destroyed. It's finally reduced to a one party, one leader rule. This is not what the 70 years, even before the 70 years we have fought for. Indian democracy is one of the proudest democracy in the world. We are the largest democracy in the world. For this democracy, actually, there are many people lay down their lives. It takes decades for us to shape this democracy, which we are all proud. Now it's the basic democracy, the basic tenet of the democracy is under attack. Rahulji relentlessly fighting to safeguard the democracy. He is the lone voice against the Modi government, and the way it suppressed the democracy is dangerous. This is not Rahulji's problem or the Congress party's problem anymore. This is the country's problem. If we allowed the same situation prevail, even after this kind of suppression, we might fight for a second independence. In my view, we are heading towards it. See, why it's raising so many questions means there are a lot of hidden things inside. It's not a fair business. The country is on the sale for a one friend, Mr. Modi's friend, Mr. Adani. Whether it's a airport or ports or spectrum or a defense deal, all given to this one man, Adani's company, which has no previous experience in any of this business. There is no rule has been followed. Wherever Prime Minister goes, generally we expect Prime Minister of the country goes to foreign countries, have a diplomatic relationships. But in this case, Mr. Narendra Modi goes to all other foreign countries, either with Mr. Adani or Mr. Adani going before Mr. Modi or after Mr. Modi's visit, and without fail he is getting all the contracts. Sri Lankan Power Corporation chairman, which Rahulji also put on record in his parliament speech, testified in front of his parliamentary committee. Sri Lankan president told him, Indian Prime Minister pressurizing him to give a power contract to Mr. Adani. The same story in Australia, same story in Bangladesh. So why Prime Minister is so much interested within India and outside India getting a business to one man? Is this the job of the Prime Minister of the country? Then Adani has so many shell companies. Rahulji is repeatedly asking this question. 20,000 crores has invested in these shell companies. Obviously, this is not the money generated by Mr. Adani. Then whose money it is? Why Prime Minister is so much interested to build a business up of one man? So what is Prime Minister interest? Where this money comes from? This is a very, very important question. Then the company floating all the norms, DRI, SEBI, RBI, finance ministry, commerce ministry, industry ministry, all ministries are sleeping. Why? Why Narendra Modi very much interested in Adani's business? Why he sells India for him? This is a very important question, because this money is not coming from the air. This is a people money, common people, ordinary people, middle class people with their hard work, decades of hard work. They deposited in LIC, they deposited in SBI, they deposited in other public sector banks, public sector undertakings. So this is basically people money. That day, after the Hindenburg report, the LIC alone lost 30,000 crore in a day. It's basically people money. The people are the Modi's other friends like Nirav Modi, Mehul Shakshi. Nirav Modi alone looted the bank 17,000 crores, and with the help of this Modi government, he fled from the country. So this is basically a robbery happening in a daylight. This is basically people money. This is a corruption. This is a scam. So that is what Rahulji is exposing. Because Rahulji exposing Narendra Modi corruption, his involvement is very clear. It's open to see everyone. So they are now completely on the back foot. So now they think the one voice, which is the voice of this country, voice of our people, voice against the Narendra Modi government and his corruption, they want to silence that voice, but they never going to do it. In my view, I worked with Rahulji for the last 15 years. We all started working with him from Youth Congress. In my view, he is the same person. But what actually made a difference is BJP understood the ability and leadership qualities of Rahulji, and he also has a legacy of a Gandhi family, and he is as a leader is individually deeply understand the idea of India. He's a very astute politician. He's an ideologically aligned, committed and uncompromised. Probably for the decade, he's the lone voice against the RSS ideology. He always tells us, this is not about individuals, it's not about hatred, it's about an ideology. We are the ideology, we follow the ideology of Gandhi, which is peace, which is love, which is non-violence. But RSS ideology is completely opposite to the Congress ideology, which is opposite to the country's ideology. The Hindutva, which BJP and RSS propagate, has nothing to do with Hinduism. Rahulji clearly told in one of our conference in Udaipur, Godse is a Hindutvadi, Gandhi is a Hindu. So Rahulji very sensitively can understand the ideology of RSS, which is a potential threat to the country, and he exposed the RSS ideology, and which is basically against this Hinduism or the Indian idea of pluralism. Secondly, Rahulji is a very committed leader. He is a very honest leader. He can unseat the Modi government. They understood this more than a decade, even before the country understood him. So they spent billions of rupees to damage Rahulji's image. So they showed Rahulji image in a very poor light, purposely. They spent so much money, they use their government, they use their cabinet. So then section of media, I will not say section of media, most of the media become the propaganda machinery to the Narendra Modi government and BJP agenda to defame Rahulji as a person, as a leader, as an individual. So section of the society has bought that fake image of Rahulji, which is spread by BJP and RSS. But what Bharat Jodo Yatra has brought in openness, who really Rahul Gandhi is as a leader, as a human being, as an individual. Millions of people, crores of people have walked along with him, met him, saw him personally, listened to his speech, interacted with him. For the first time in my political life, I'm into politics for the last 25 years. I'm also a woman in politics. So in Southeast Asian societies, a woman, we never goes to physically close to an unknown person, a man, a leader, to hug him and hold his hands and cry to him. I walked Bharat Jodo Yatra throughout from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. I've seen in my own eyes. I always believe it's very difficult for men to give a safe space for women. But for Rahulji, it comes very naturally. The women of this country could see it. Then, majorly the youth, the people who walked most with us is mostly women and youth. They are able to see how Rahulji is a very genuine leader, committed leader, how he believes in love, how he is against the hate, what kind of vision he has for the country. So they trusted him. They see him actually, he's an antithesis to Narendra Modi. So that's what makes a difference in my view.